So you obviously, like we said, you're cleared. How is it difficult for you to know that you can get in there and wrestle, and at the same time, just be able to sit on the sidelines for the moment and watch other people kind of getting to live that kind of dream?
I wouldn't say it's difficult. I've sort of come to terms with it over the past several years. Initially, it was really hard. It was very hard, particularly when it was my peer group of NXT that were making the waves.
Yeah.
You know, the Shield and Bray Wyatt. Everybody that I came up with.
I had to say, you watched them all run.
Yeah, and they ran, exactly, they ran right past me. But I've sort of come to terms with it now. I look at things a little bit differently now, whereas if I can contribute and it's an opportunity for me to step in the ring to do something for entertainment value or to help advance a story or help get a new superstar over or something like that to give back, I would absolutely do that. But it's not about me needing that, craving that spotlight. Of course, there's part of me that wants that feeling. My favorite part of being a bad guy was 1, 2, 3, staring at the lights, because it's an instant gratification. I get to go, we did it, right then and there. I don't have to worry about standing on the ropes and mugging for the camera. I feel like this sense of accomplishment, like I did my part, and that's all I wanted. So if there is an opportunity that arises, which hopefully it does, I'm not going to lie.
I think a lot of people want that.
I would absolutely be into it, but as long as it means something and helps somebody else.
Well, you know, I know a little bit about you, Corey. I'm going to humble brag a bit here. I've done commentary for Warrior Wrestling, or I did for many years. I got to call a lot of your brothers' matches. Sam, Top Rudo in Mexico, right?
Yeah, El Rudo de las Chicas.
Do you vicariously live through Sam a little bit?
No.
Okay.
I do my best to keep Sam grounded.
Okay.
I love Sam. He's my little brother. He always will be. I can honestly say Sam has well surpassed my accomplishments in the ring. I mean, he's the real deal, and he's done it all on his own. And I can say that as much as I would have liked to have helped him out or pulled a string here or there or connected him with somebody, Sam has truly paved his own road, and I'm super proud of what he's accomplished.
Well, and one thing when I was talking to Sam one day, I mentioned how he kind of reminded me of Pat McAfee. And I guess that you
full-blown yinzers.
You guys have like a lot of history together. I didn't know that you and McAfee and all that. There was like
we grew up, I believe, like 3.5 miles from each other.
Yeah, apparently like Pat and your brother were like confused. Like people would call them by each other's names or something like that. He was
that's entirely possible. Okay. I graduated high school and skipped town. But it's entirely possible. If you close your eyes, you can hear they've both got the deep Pittsburghese accent, the yinzer.
Once I saw it and heard it, I couldn't unsee and hear it. You know?
It's so funny to me. I laugh about it all the time, how McAfee is this broadcasting juggernaut right now.
Yeah.
And when I first started doing commentary, the first thing I had to unlearn was a Pittsburgh accent.
Oh, really?
I never had it very strong. My dad sounds just like my brother and Pat. Very thick yinzer accents, we call them.
Okay, I was about to say, I've never heard that word until this interview.
Yeah, a lot of people, unless you're from Pittsburgh, don't realize there is like a Pittsburgh dialect.
Okay,
and we've got vocabulary words that don't make sense to anybody. And
I'm from Texas. Half of our words don't make any sense.
Sure. So it took me a while, and I was very, very self-conscious about pronouncing words a certain way because I wanted to sound like a broadcaster.
Sure.
And then Pat comes along and blows the whole thing up, and he just gets to be, I'm like, man, I should have unlearned it. Maybe I would have been in McAfee's position.
All right, last question. It is another kind of, forward thinking about your health and how you'll be able to get back in the ring. When I heard all of this stuff, and I heard that Pat was getting a match, you threw your hat into the ring for the match with Pat. Was that ever considered? Was that ever talked about? Because I feel like a Raw SmackDown commentator feud, there's so much you could play with there.
Not to my knowledge was it ever discussed with any sense of legitimacy. And you got to remember, there's only one night a year that Raw and SmackDown compete in head-to-head competition, a Survivor Series.
So should we all hold out hope?
I hope. I'm going to start politicking now.
I really like
There we go.
idea.
I think McAfee and Graves at Survivor Series. Although I think we have to pass the bar that was set by Cole and Lawler at WrestleMania.
I think that's a pretty easy bar to cross. No offense to Jerry or Michael.
But yeah, I think it'd be fun, man. Pat, as over the top as Pat is, he loves this.
Yeah.
That's why Pat's here.
Sure.
Pat doesn't need the money. Pat doesn't need the exposure. He's wildly successful on his own. Pat loves WWE being a part of it. So I mean, more power to him. The fact that he's living his dream, I think it's very, very cool.
You set opponent tomorrow night?
I'm not at liberty to divulge that information.
Cool. Hey, Corey, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.